What is up, y'all? Can you actually hear me today? Do we have... Oh, you probably hear double. Hold on. Or no, not yet, because we're not in that scene, but my Kaio is gonna pick up the voice whenever I switch over. Siren with the first redemption, quick on the draw there. Welcome in, guys. How's it going? How's everybody doing? I'm running a little bit behind today because I have a video I'm making, a social media video I'm making for a music festival. And I just finished it like right before I went online. So I'm just now going around doing all my little promotional post rigmarole. When you try to get into streaming, nobody ever tells you it's going to take you like entirely too long to do that sort of thing. My wife saw how much prep goes into a stream and she's like, "You do this every time?" Like, yeah. Please excuse me, y'all. My wife caught something while we were in Dallas, and it seems like it's passed on to me. I started coughing this morning. I'm gonna be clearing my throat a lot. We should be ready to roll in about 5 minutes or less. Almost there. All right. Wheels meet a siren. Science streams. Welcome in, folks. How's it going out there on a Wednesday night? Happy Water Wednesday. Let me just get this audio DAW out of the way. And we can get right into it. I actually have some exciting footage for y'all tonight. I call it Water Wednesday because we can't really show off sharks every night, right? Like, who's got that kind of footage just in their B-roll folder? But I don't turn the camera on unless there's something cool to look at. And this time... Oh, yeah. Echo, right. I was expecting that. If we mute the camera, now we should be good, right? All good? All better? green screen's doing funky stuff too. Why is that? It's the same lights we have all the time. Why you do this to me? Razor? Hey, there we go. They just needed a little more. Is that one not all the way up? Nope. Now it's strobing. 1, 2, 3. That's all it was. We just needed more light. We needed to turn the camera up a little bit. Now that I can't see anything, let's get rocking. But first, I wanted to start with, I can't remember if I did this last time or not, but I wanted to give a shout out to one of our best friends. Did I do it right? Yeah, Lil KP. I can't remember if I did this last stream or not, so I wanted to just get it out of the way. Wonderful person, just totally like reimagined her whole stream, and it's fantastic. And she was very, very generous. It came in here and dropped some gift bombs on us last night. So I just wanted to take a minute to recognize this beautiful human. Go check her out if you're not already following her. You'll thank me later. And where's that tab I had open? All right, so man, YouTube's so confusing. It shows like a preview of my stream. Sorry, I'm totally like derailed, but it's behind. So like I still showed us on the starting screen and I was like, huh, what's going on here? So anyway, I've pulled up a description of the shipwreck we're about to see. So shipwreck diving is a pretty complicated thing, as you might imagine. Wreck diving. As you can imagine, there's a lot of nooks and crannies that you could get snagged on, you know? Lots of, you know, you could get lost. Your gear could get caught on something. It's not something that you just wake up and go do one day, right? Like there's usually special training involved, extra certifications, and these ships are usually at a considerable depth. Luckily for us, we're not exactly trying to go see the Titanic on this dive, because it just so happens Bimini in the Bahamas has this, the SS Sapona. SS Sapona is an iconic shipwreck in Bimini. It's a World War II era freight vessel with a concrete hull. Yeah, concrete. As in like, as if one of the little pigs was out there going, I'll make my boat out of stone. I didn't know until we saw this that anybody had ever made concrete hulled ships, but apparently that used to be a thing. It did not sink because it was made of concrete, but just because it ran aground in the middle of a storm. I'll read this quick little blurb here in a sec before we get started, but let me catch up on the chat. What's going on there? Got your new coffee maker. Oh, what'd you get? Setting that memorizes how you like your coffee brewed. Oh, man. I got lazy, honestly, and like, when was it? Like 2013 or 14 or something? I got a Keurig, and I just use that with like the refillable K-cups now, you know? You like it, though? Does it make life easier? All right, let's see what these guys have to say about the Sapona in this little blurb here. SS Sapona was one of a fleet of concrete ships originally commissioned. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to pull up these other images of the ship because they're very interesting, I think. this kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at. This is only like 20 feet deep around this thing, by the way. Where'd my other window go? There it is. The SS Sapona was one of a fleet of concrete ships originally commissioned by former U.S. President Woodrow Wilson to serve as troop transports during World War I. Oh, I misspoke. World War I, not II. Because steel was in short supply. Said to have been designed by Henry Ford himself. Yeah, right along with the concrete pickup truck. It was built by the Liberty Shipbuilding Company in Wilmington, North Carolina, and his sister to the ship Cape Fear. Is sister to the ship Cape Fear? I think they meant to say. It's probably a typo. Cape Fear ship. I've never heard of this. That's a big boat. Is that also concrete? Lighter aboard ship. Barge carrier built for President Prudential Grace Lines in 1971. It is not. Because the ship was completed after the end of the war, it was sold for scrap to Carl Fisher, one of the developers of Miami Beach. He used it briefly as a casino and then for oil storage before it was purchased in 1924 by Bruce Bethel, a former British war captain and a liquor merchant out of Nassau. Bethel moved to the ship to Bimini and used it as a floating warehouse to store and distribute his liquor supply during the Prohibition era, earning him notoriety as the Bimini Rum King. Okay, that's kind of cool. Like, so in a way, it's kind of a pirate vessel because they were rum running out of Nassau and Bimini during the Prohibition. How cool is that? They were like the latest pirates of the Caribbean. They missed the golden age, but still at it. That's kind of rad. I didn't know that. So yeah, really lucky for us that these guys happen to have a really intricate shipwreck. It's very well preserved and actually, oof, that's so zoomed in. Come on now. The engine room even is fairly intact. So you've got this section in the back here that's broken off. It's all kind of turned to rubble. And they drop us in right up here near the front. And then we go in through these holes in the side, where, as I was saying before, is only about 20 feet deep. We just kind of snake in and out of there, trying not to touch anything and glide through and see what there is to see. And then as you get these first two holes in the roof are in that main chamber in the front, like the cargo hold. And then these last two back here are the engine room compartments, which is surprisingly intact. You'll see here in a bit. The day we came out here, I don't think I filmed myself trying to swim around the bow of the ship, but I did try to go around the front to where these people are swimming down here in the bottom right, but it was not going to happen. There was a crazy strong current going this way, this direction. So getting on this side of the ship, it was just going to carry you off, off to the horizon. So I started to go around the front of the ship, and I just turned back, looked at my wife, and I was like, I don't think I did this, because that's like the I'm out of air hand signal, but I was just like, nope, go back. But I think at some point into the end, I did try to come out of the back where all this rubble is, and then I swam back around, but I'm not sure if I was filming for that. And they actually used to have a ladder where you could climb up on top of this ship too, and see, people would jump off of it, like dive off the top of it. Has a setting that memorizes how you like your coffee brewed. A much more expensive Keurig than the $50 one I bought a few years ago, and it's much better. Oh, okay. I'd panic at 3 feet deep. You'll see like inside the ship, it's pretty shallow. Like some people were like at the surface. That's my jam, dude. I absolutely love it. And you know, the fact that we got to just be able to say we did a shipwreck on this one, so cool to me. Such a cool box to check off. Y'all might have to excuse me. I'm running out of tea. And yeah, I caught a cough that my wife picked up while we were in Dallas this morning. And while we were in Dallas over the weekend, I just caught it this morning, and I'm gonna be doing that a lot if I don't go get some more hot tea. Where did I put those video files? I'd do a shipwreck again for sure. Glad it was kind of thrown in as a freebie this year. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not mad about the fact that we didn't see any sharks or... one person saw a sea turtle on that dive. I didn't see the sea turtle. They had already, like, scared it off by the time we got over there. We were the last ones in the water. But, yeah. I'm not even mad about that not being, like, a shark dive. Because it's usually something technical divers get to do, right? Is to go on shipwreck dives, but sometimes you get lucky and there's a shallow one like this. All right, let's see if I actually edited these right. Yep, sweet. Never mind the lens tearing, that's gonna fix itself when we get in the water. Never mind my ugly mug up there. All right, let's start off this first one and jump right in.
I sell sharks and shark accessories.
I sell sharks and shark accessories. Mita, could you do me a favor and turn on the coffee maker? I just ran out of that green tea. My throat's bugging me. Thanks, babe. Were you already in the water on this one? I swear I thought you got in after me. I know Ree was back there. Who's that? I can't tell. Quit fiddling with your mask and get in the water. Okay, I think that's Mare. And that's you right here. Oh yeah, you had something going on. Maybe it was the fact that that strap is not clipped there, but you got out and got back in. I forget what was happening that you had to get out and get back in. But I remember I was waiting on you, and Mare was trying to tell me to film Paul and Rhea as they were swimming by, and I was like, oh no, I'm waiting on her. Okay, that's Becky. There's you. Just made yourself more coffee at 8:30 at night? Man, you trying to pull an all-nighter or what? Dang. Excuse me if my Texas accent's coming out tonight. I usually hide it pretty well, but I just got done recording a voiceover for, like a bluegrass festival, so I had to channel my inner Sam Elliott for the last hour. Come on down. Down to the farm. Here I am trying to talk to her. What was I saying? So you can hear me going brr, 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 as if she can freaking understand me. Oh, I think maybe you had like not a full tank of air or something. I think that's what it was. That's why we were the last ones. Okay. Because we looked at your gauge and I mumbled something and then you went back to the boat. You can see some really big sponges down here, like this thing. It's a big sponge. All kinds of tiny seaweed and seagrass and stuff. So you can't quite see the boat just yet. So our boat is here, but the ship, while Mita's getting her tank swapped out. She was also having mask problems. I remember that they burned her mask a couple of times. You do that, you burn it with a lighter to get the like anti-fog liner out of there, and that way when you put anti-fog in it, it's a lot more effective. There's a little fish underneath me there, you see him? Way down there. But yeah, once we come away from the dive boat, you'll see the ship over here start to come into view. It's that dark shadow you see over here. We're right next to it. How far am I in? At 4.5? Okay, so if I go back up to the top, you'll probably... Yeah, you can see we're right next to it. So it's just right there, and there's another tourist boat just kind of motoring past. And I mean, it looks dilapidated. We're sitting here like, please don't let this fall on me. I can drink a coffee, just go to bed, doesn't affect me like normal people. Somebody told me when I was diagnosed with ADHD that that's an ADHD thing. That like you go through the caffeine buzz and then crash. But I don't know, that doesn't happen to me. Let's go back to 4.5. It was right here. Let me actually blow this up. Why do I sound like I'm drowning? Get the propane. I just saw that. Okay, now Mita's getting situated. Here goes Paul and Ree. Taking off to the ship. And I was just already filming everything, so I didn't want to stop what I was doing. But here she was like, she starts trying to tell me, look over there and get a picture of them because it's cute, right? Because they're swimming off like holding hands. And I was like, nah, I'm good. It's rolling. I was like, oh no, I'm waiting on my wife. I'm good. Yeah, we're rolling right now. So yeah, see, I'm like, it's on. Later she was like, I was trying to tell you to get a picture of them. I was like, I know. Technically I did. I could just turn around and here, you know what? Let's not be a total jerk and actually get one. Let's take a still. Here's one. And we'll get one of them swimming off. That I'm photobombing. I'll crop it down later. There we go. Now I kind of did the thing after the fact. So I get a picture of them holding hands. Can you see how she's trying to say that? It's so funny how people get creative in their hand signals underwater. I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm not gonna do anything for it if I ever get diagnosed. That's the spirit. Oh yeah, she had to fix her weights. That's what I was pointing at. So I'm like, are you okay? She's not paying attention yet. There we go. Now she's like, yep, I'm good. I'm not sure who was still back at the boat at that point. There were 2 people left. I don't remember who the last 2 in were. And away we go. Let's look from this angle so we can actually see the ship kind of come out of the murk right there. And you can see those panels that have broken.
A what?
A what? You can see those panels that have broken out of the side really just go all the way down. Like they left just the ribs holding the main structure up. And you can just cruise right in and out. Look at that. She just glides right through. One gentle little frog kick, didn't even touch the sides, like a boss. I'm so proud. Let's see if I was as graceful. Did I hit something? Nope, so far so good. Oh yeah, I didn't touch nothing. Oh, or did my fin just there? I don't think so. The amount of life on the frame of this thing is so crazy to me. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. Had to get that out of your system. No worries, man. I put them there for a reason. But the amount of life clinging to the walls of this thing was just so insane. I'm gonna play a lot of this stuff over just because you really have to look like everywhere. There's stuff all over this thing. Like even if, well, I guess you can't really see looking up. But like high up on these pillars, the sponges and corals go all the way up. There's a couple little fish here that I think are like picking stuff off of that algae there. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised since it's made of concrete. It's porous, so stuff can really get a hold of it easily. Look at the tiny little fan coral right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just kind of this blurry blue blob right there, but as we pass by it, it was like a pristine little tiny fan coral. See that? And then some of these, I think that's a sponge. That's this really, really bright orange thing. Those things were kind of speckled all over the place. And there's little fish just dashed all over the place right here. I'm not sure what these are. They're yellow and black banded. I could probably identify them if I went and looked up what's local there. Now we're getting under the hull, so the natural light's kind of fading away, so it clears up a little bit over here. So I'm told there was a sea turtle right here, and it cruised past them out the little slats in the wall as we were coming in, as the first couple of people came in. This little fish was just chilling here, kind of staring me down. There's another one right here. There was at least 1 or 2 small fish in like every little section here. This is neat. I don't know what this is. I think that's actually a coral. But it sprawls out and makes these like shelves. There's an angelfish and a parrotfish over here somewhere too. Everybody's just cruising around. It's really spacious in there, so not like super cramped like the other shipwrecks. That's another thing that makes this one so accessible, you know? This has got to be like the easiest shipwreck to dive on the planet. There's some other stuff to kind of just cling it. I love the look of these like teeny tiny fan corals like this one. Look at that. It's like miniature, perfectly formed corals. Looks so cool. That one's not looking so good. It's kind of covered in algae there. That's like what we were talking about yesterday. It's dying off. Whereas like on this one, you can see the yellow parts here. This is healthy coral. This splotch here in the middle is sick. So that's started to decay. And this is covered in algae right here, but the other yellow bits are fine. Now, that is not to say that it's diseased, or maybe somebody touched it, or whatever. That would be total conjecture if I tried to say what happened to kill off that coral. Because in fact, there's also the possibility that like corals fight each other. Corals will actually try to eat each other. They'll extrude the animal that lives inside the calcium skeleton of the coral will like come out of the coral, extrude itself out on it, like extrude its guts out basically on top of a neighboring coral and try to digest it to like compete for the space it occupies and the nutrients in it. So like corals will try to eat each other. It's the craziest thing. We can find, I know there's a good video of that was on a nature doc, if you want to jump down that rabbit hole. Dude, yeah, there's a lot about, coral is so much more complex than people realize. I mean, it's an animal, you know, and when you think about it from that angle, it's like, whoa, okay, it seems like a plant at first glance, like when you first get introduced to it. There's another beautiful blue fan coral right here. These things look so cool. I guess I missed that angelfish, but we'll see it when we come back the other way. Oh, there's an anemone in there. Or, not an anemone, what do you call it? Oh my god, brain fart, what's the word? Urchin. A sea urchin in there. I'm so predictable. Anytime I see something cool, you can hear me go, oh, like into my mouthpiece. I'm like Dave the Diver when he goes, oh. There's a little fish scurrying away from us. I can't quite see what it is. Some more little blue fish. What are you? You're pretty. A couple more in that little compartment over there and on the wall back here. Is that coral or debris? That looks like coral. That's cool. So at this point, I was like, hey, you want to go back and check out the engine room? I got it. Okay, I caught up. It's an urchin. I'm not quite as good with fish as I am with sharks. Anything that's not a shark, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, wow, look at that big school of fish. Do you see that? There's like a school of fish right in the surf there. Well, I say surf, but the water that's crashing over the the holes on the other side of the ship. Look at that. That's so beautiful. I suppose eventually that'll probably break down like the other side. Alright, so we break into the engine room here. Or at least the entrance to the engine room's compartment. And you can see a lot of stuff has collapsed down from the ceiling. But the main structure of the engine room right in the center there is intact for the most part. Which is really cool. We're late to the party. Somebody's already on their way out of there. That's like the scuba diver's version of giving the Jeep owner the peace sign, you know? Like, hey. I wanted to take a peek in here, but I didn't want to like climb all the way in. I think I did just kind of like reach in and look around, but again, outside the ship, the current was really strong that day. Oh yeah, I didn't want to disturb all these fish either too much. They're all kind of hunkered down right here. I'd probably just taking shelter from that current. Because right above this wall, that current was ripping. Ooh, I didn't know that was there. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. I wonder if that's the same coral as that big one we saw back there. I'm bad at identifying some of our native fish here in Michigan. That I could probably help you with. So this is all part of the engine. Both of these things on either side here. It's huge. Which I guess I shouldn't be that surprised by, because it's a concrete ship. It takes a lot of power to move something like that. But yeah, all of this is part of the engine room. Mita's in the room like, hey, come check this out. And I'm like, I'm gonna go that way where the rest of the engine room is. I had to get a still of her in here though. Hold on. Oh man, okay, I had like microfiber towels that I wiped out the inside of this camera case with, and these little like felt tablets that you stick, these little tabs you stick in either side of the lens that are supposed to absorb moisture, and somehow all these little freaking droplets still manage to get in there. What the heck? I think I might have to air out my new carry-on like I did the purse. Why? Does it smell like coffee or the stuff you just cleaned it with? It's not that hard to identify them either because they're freshwater fish. Some species are found in Florida. Yeah, there's a lot of freshwater fish in the U.S., but not like an astronomical amount. That's a cool shot of you, Mita. I'm getting a still of that. I was sneezing when unpacking. Could be the dirty clothes. Oh, yeah. It probably is the clothes. That pet hair on it. Look at you trying not to touch the bottom. I'm so proud of you. I don't think you did either. That's so neat. Here's me going, can I get my camera through that hole? And do I want to risk scratching the lens if I do? Or the dive case. Like a pro, look at that. Just glides right through, didn't touch a dang thing. You're getting good, babe. Yeah, I bet it's nice having a carry-on that doesn't have broken wheels anymore. She was dragging around this carry-on in Dallas last weekend. It is just... It was getting old. And, like, the wheels were locking up. And my mom's a flight attendant, and she had a spare one. She was just like, just take this one. And it had, like, a coffee stain inside of it, so we cleaned out the coffee stain and brought it home. I have no idea what the actual structure of this is. But I know what that is. I recognize a crankshaft when I see one. This would be the actual crankshaft that runs down the center of the engine. How crazy is that all this detail is still here? Yeah, I can go back and show it again. Oh, there's another urchin in that little hole there. Hold on a sec. So it started right about here when I noticed you were over there. Oh, that's a little jelly, isn't it? Whoa. I just saw that thing. Yeah, you're just kind of hovering in there. Showing off your buoyancy skills. Look at that. Oh, kinda starting to sink, but took a deep breath and went back up. Ooh. Were you trying to peek over the top or something? So graceful. That was really good. I didn't want to try going through there. I'm too tall and lanky for that. I would have kicked all kinds of stuff off the wall for sure. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Probably a coral, but that is pretty. So cool, the color contrast between like this green algae at the bottom on the, that's just like sand and concrete with grass or algae growing on it, as opposed to like all the coral and sponges overtaking everything else. So that's the big crankshaft we were talking about. And out here is where I swam later and regretted it because the current was just, as you can see, it's just thrashing stuff going that, well, that way. Here's that urchin I just got a little glimpse of. Let's rewind a little bit. These guys are actually a huge problem in California right now. Because of climate change, they've kind of exploded, and their populations have gotten so out of control. They eat seaweed, so they they're eating the kelp forests at a ridiculous rate of speed. So divers are strongly encouraged out there in California to harvest them. Because, and get this is no joke, the gonads of the inside of a sea urchin is a delicacy. Supposedly it's very good. I have not tried it, but I don't deny it. It's probably pretty good. This was one of those moments where I was just like, I see a hole, I'm putting a camera in it. I was like, this looks like the exact kind of spot that is the reason why I bought a 360 camera. Let's shove this thing down there and see what's there, because I can't get down there. So let's check it out. these fish are, but I want to find out. Whoa, I really got up in there. Let's do that again. I'll look this way this time. All those fish scattered. Like, what the heck is that? It's shiny. Whoa, dude. That is so neat. I'm gonna get another browser up and look up what some of the local fauna are at this island. See if I can identify any of these fish that we saw. Yeah, you can see that wall is totally washed out. It's another crevice I jammed a camera into. Okay, so those things were kind of like... Let's get another look at those fish. What are you? Ah! Okay, so they're silver with tiny black tails. Hmm. I'm only getting results for like the game fish. Not really super helpful. Here we go. Here's one of those big charts. All right. I know I saw one of these bluehead wrasses, but not necessarily on this video. There is a parrotfish, but I don't know what kind. So when we see it, we can take a better look at that. I did see one of these French angelfish. Now, what is that tiny thing with the black tail? That could be... Well, folks, it looks like we found a new species. No. It could be these grunts. They have a little black tail. Blue striped grunt. The color's all skewed. Anyway, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff that has an alternating colored tail. You know what I mean? Like a high contrast between the body and the tail like that. Blue striped grunt. That kind of looks just like a yellow grouper. Okay, so there's a little spot of black at the base of the dorsal fin there. So if that's what it is, that'll be the giveaway. And you know what? I think I do see that. I do believe we just successfully identified that fish. Yep. I bet that is a blue striped grunt. Cool. Let's see one that's not a drawing. Oh yeah. Those ones are pretty young, but there you go. Who knew they'd have that much detail close up? That's really cool. I'm just gonna hang on to that field guide over there. What are these guys? Beats me. I'm sure we could find out if we really wanted to. If anyone asks, I've been here the entire time. I'm glad you said that, because somebody was looking for you a minute ago, Misadventures. I think you're in a lot of trouble. Trying to get her attention like, yo, going back. What that? Oh, now I wish I had a beer, but then it would just make me sicker. We have some pretty good beer, actually, but I don't want to lower my immune shields. Oh, there's a bright blue fish. What are you? Let's identify that guy real quick. So bright. Okay. That thing is really, really blue. No, it's not a midnight parrotfish because those are huge. Let's get to a place where you can actually see it in some detail. Okay, so it gets darker as it goes back to the tail. That could be one of these blue chromies. I think that's probably the best bet out of all of these. Because the yellowhead wrasse has a distinctly yellow head, even though the tail's blue. Let's look at a blue chromis. Chromies, I don't know what they call them. That is probably what that is. That is a so solid blue. It's that really dark, deep blue. Although, I don't know, is the tail that elongated? Kinda. What do you think? Yeah. I bet that is what that is. Is that another one? It just darted across right there in the bottom? No, that's something else. It's a dark one. I think she wanted to take a peek in this little corridor here. Oh, these guys. The yellow and black striped ones. Let's figure out what that is. Squirrel! Because we saw those in the first room, too. So they're elongated and stripedy. And small. It's not a sergeant major, because those have a much thicker body shape. I do think I saw one of these fairy basslets there that's like yellow and on the back and purple in the front. Where did it go? Oh, it's way down there. So yeah, pretty pronounced stripes throughout the whole length, the whole top to bottom of the body. You were looking for a seahorse the entire dive? I bet there were some in there, we just missed them. Okay, so I don't think it's a sergeant major. I don't think it's a barred hamlet, because the barred hamlet has stripes that fade as it goes towards the fin at the top. Oh man, PT told me I gotta do this and look up like every 30 minutes. Gotta keep that spine straight, man. It's not easy. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't think that one's on this chart. It's definitely not one of these banded butterfly fish, because it doesn't have that sort of shape. It's kind of got a more elongated shape, like this yellowtail snapper or something. You know what I mean? Just that kind of body shape. Too late for me in 8th grade. I had to have surgery on my spine because I have scoliosis. Well, crap. Well, I'm very guilty of slouching too much. So we're trying to correct that. It's been interesting. I think I'm about halfway through those treatments now. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find it on this chart. Let's see if we get another good view of one later, because I know we saw some of those in the first room. You can tell that water's hauling ass because of all the little bubbles and stuff in there. Let's look back when I stick the camera in here. You see all this is like sand and just tiny bubbles from those waves just beating down at the top of the boat. Okay,
I'll tell you what.
we got an ad break coming up in a minute and a half. I'm gonna manually run one right before that. I know it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna take advantage of that to get rid of the pre-rolls and go get some more tea, because this tickle in my throat is starting to get to me. Man, look at that. So you can tell people have been screwing around in here because they silted up the whole room. Are mostly just that entrance right there. Somebody was clowning around, kicking up all kinds of dirt. Who did that so I can make fun of him? I don't think we'll catch the culprit. I can't tell who that is. I guess they get away with it this time. Alright, that ad's gonna start in 30 seconds. I'm gonna pause this one right here. We've got 2 more videos from this same dive. But I'm gonna go make another tea real quick, and I'll be right back. Excuse me. Oh, man. I thought I had it figured out last time and my freaking light went out again. This thing is driving me insane. Backup battery's at 52%. This shouldn't happen. I got a power supply back here and I have it plugged straight into it. What a piece of junk. Is it charging? No. Why not?
Let's see how long that barrel takes to bring him up.
I see you, Wheels. There we go. Now it's charging. I had to flip the cord upside down. I guess it's just a crappy cord. You like my shirt? Come to the shark side. One of many goofy shirts that I have gotten in the mail randomly from family members. Okay. Stop. Let's resume here. Okay, so we just came back into the main chamber. Cargo area. And there's a lot of these little things. Tiny, elongated, striped fish. Sorry, I'm zooming way in on them. It's going to make everything look really blurry, but I want to get a good look at one of these fish. Those almost look like cleaner wrasse. Do they even have stuff like that on here? They have some wrasses. Blue head wrasses, yellow head wrasse. Excuse me. Oh, they even have a lot of the coral detailed here. I would not be able to identify those, though, from just the little bits of them that we saw. We saw one of these urchins. I guess it's a long-spined sea urchin. Okay, so on this one, the stripes run left to right. And it's itty freaking bitty. It's on the itty bitty fishy committee. But it is not on this chart. So I think what it is one of these. Although that just has one stripe. Let's see. That could be that. Just one big black stripe down the middle. Yeah, I think that might be what that is. Oh well, not to dwell on that. I think on this one you can actually hear, you know how last week I was talking about how a healthy reef sounds like popcorn? You can hear it really well on this one, or at least I can. Tell me if you can hear the pops and clicks and stuff going on from all the shrimp things. I'm actually going to turn the volume on this app up from 50 to 100%, so if it's too loud, I'm sorry. But if it works, this actually sounds really cool. I'm just going to rewind a few seconds. Can you hear that? The snap, crackle, pop. There's an angelfish. Is that too loud when I do that? Like, should I leave it at 50%? Or is this okay with it at 100? That angelfish I saw, what kind did we say that was? A French angelfish. It's got like subtle yellow scales, but mostly gray and green, dark green body. I don't think I noticed it until later. Excuse me. There he is. Yo. Actually, that may have been one of the gray angelfish. I didn't see those yellow scales on it. Yeah. Okay. Still, I'm not able to see any of the, like, details on it. But a gray angelfish is pretty distinctly different from what I'm used to seeing. I used one of the ones in the fish tank that I used to dive in to clean it was a French angelfish. And they look like this. Where they have dark bodies and then like yellow scales. They kind of, or they're like speckled down the side. But this doesn't look like that because that yellow speckling is really, really apparent, you know? But that's also kind of true of these gray ones. Like, they have dark speckles on the sides that are really... Here we go. Is this a good time to do my PT stretches and tilt my head to my ear so you can see the fish? They have really dark speckles that are very obvious as well. And this fish does not. But that's probably just because a 1-inch sensor on an action camera is not enough to capture it. And actually, now that I'm seeing that wrasse again from this angle, I can say pretty definitively that that is a cleaner wrasse. Back up to right here again. Take a look at him one more time. See, there he goes. Sees me floating over and makes a run for his little hidey hole here. Did I put the camera on the other side? Oh, there it comes out again. Okay, it is the gray one. There's the speckles. ID confirmed. Bingo. That's a gray angelfish. I'm gonna start taking stills of these and labeling them. That could be kind of fun to do, like recaps of stuff we saw. Looks like there was 2 of them in there. I don't think there's anything under that little plank there. Didn't see it until you pointed at it. Yeah, they blend in really well. A lot of the fish do. A lot of times they will have evolved a certain pattern to blend into a specific part of the ecosystem that they live in. Like maybe blend in with a specific coral pattern or something that they favor. Oh, I didn't see? Kicking up the sand, calling you out. I bet if I had put the camera right at the opening of that pipe right there, I bet there would have been something hunkered down in there. Now, in her defense, she literally got scuba certified for this trip, which is pretty incredible, if we're being honest. Looks like there's another big fish in this pipe here. It's pretty incredible to have your first scuba trip right after getting certified to be with sharks. So I'm not giving her too much grief. But look at that. Maybe another angelfish. Kind of hard to tell, but you can see the shape of the body is similar. But it's way down in that tube there. When I went down to look at it, I got kicked in the head by somebody who kicked me. Or kicked in the camera, at least. Let's see who the culprit was. Oh, it's Paul. Paul, you kicked my camera, dude. Seeing anything else hiding in here. There's another one of these yellow banded things. Huh. They're everywhere, but they're not on that chart that I looked up. Maybe if I pull up another one. That didn't help. This is what it reminds me of. But I don't think that's what it is. It's got the same tail shape as that other one we saw before. Actually, that might be it. That one we saw before might be it. That picture of it is from iStock. But what is it? Sergeant Major. I guess it could be. Oh yeah, yellow at the top fades to silver as it goes down, and then it's got those stripes all the way across the body. Alright. Okay, I'm with it. That's a Sergeant Major. Judging by the environment, it appears to be a fish. That's all I have to say about that. I see something moving around underneath this board here, but there's no way I'll get a good enough look at it. Okay, that's the end of that clip. Let's open up the next one. Looks like this one's only like 30 seconds long, and then the next one's 13 minutes. So I must have seen something on this one. Maybe not. Maybe I was just testing something. Yep, I think I was just goofing around. Trying to figure out a setting. How do you work this machine? Is that like a jellyfish that just flew by? See that? It was like... Or is it just a bubble? Nope, that was a jelly of some kind. There. That thing. Whoa. You can see it as it crosses in front of my mask. Okay. This is going to be really hard to see against the sky like that, but that's one of those teeny tiny kinds of jellies. But it's not actually like a jelly, right? Like, they're called something else. Comb jellies. It's a comb jelly. That is a comb jelly. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Right before... Comb jelly. Yeah, I'll show you a better picture here in a second. If I actually look up comb jelly. There's a lot of different kinds of them, so bear with me. And a lot of them can fluoresce, or they're bioluminescent. There's a handful of them. I don't know if the shrimp eats them or what. But some of them look like this. Actually, I bet if we just look up a GIF of a comb jelly, you can see them bioluminescing. Like, again, there's a lot of different kinds, and I don't know what kind the one we just saw is. Ooh. Isn't that neat? Who knows what kind that one is, but neat little critters. And the small ones, like this one is probably the size of like a quarter. I almost missed it as it just kind of floats by there past my arm and down towards the bottom. That's neat. I'm glad I didn't just delete this. Otherwise I would have never known it was there. Alright, let's see what we got on this one. I wonder if that clip of that fish at the beginning is... Oh, yeah! That's a way better shot of the Sergeant Major. That is totally a Sergeant Major, now that I see it from this angle. Let's save a shot of that. There's two of them. Another jelly just floated past. Probably a lot more of them in there than I noticed. Well, I didn't notice any until now, so at least I don't remember noticing them. Making our exit. Which was a cool looking fish? The yellow striped one? This guy? Or are you talking about this one I just noticed here in the bottom that was like kind of dark with like a striped tail? This thing right here. I saw that too and I was wondering what that is. Ooh, there's a blue one too. This one, oh, the Sergeant Major? Okay, I'm kind of wondering what that is because this thing had like a dark body but with like a band of light color right at the base of the tail. Or I don't know if it's the same thing on a fish, but on the shark they call that part where the tail tapers down the peduncle. That's the same thing on a whale too. This little Sergeant Major is following us around. Pointing out the barnacles and stuff. Oh yeah, that's a live barn. This is what a barnacle looks like when it's actually out and feeding on stuff. It's got like bristles like that. It's crazy, huh? People don't often get that view of a barnacle. It like sprawls out of the hole in the shell and has these like feather-like fan parts that come out. So this is probably several different. Each one of these little fans is probably a different barnacle. And if we were to reach out and touch it, they would clamp shut. I'm sure I can find an animation of that too. Oh wow, if you look up barnacle gifs, you get like nothing but SpongeBob. Okay. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Poor example though. There we go. So this is essentially what it looks like when a barnacle feeds. It's a little more easy to see and prominent in the video that we took. But the creature kind of fans out and just grabs food particles that are floating by and pulls them back in the shell. And since they tend to pile up on top of each other in clusters. Surely that's not a barnacle. That's a shrimp of some kind. I don't even know if they have eyes. That's one. Here's a bunch of them kind of starting to sprawl out. Or unfurl, I suppose, would be the right term. I wish I knew if this red stuff was a sponge or a coral. It's really cool, whatever it is. I bet it's a coral. Part of me was hoping too that we'd see a scorpion fish. They're like, they hide in the rocks really, really well. You can see I kind of stuck the camera under the hull for a second there to try and see if I could get a close up on any of the fish down there. I can't really tell what any of them are. Okay, that guy I can see well enough. That one's kind of reddish with a really big eye. We saw a bunch of those. Like a squirrel fish, yeah. We saw one of those in the first video. These are squirrelfish. They have enormous eyes, like so. But these little yellow ones, I have no idea what they are. They could be grunts. There are French grunts and blue striped grunts, but they don't have the dark markings like the other grunts we saw. That's the squirrelfish going back the other way. But yeah, the scorpion fish, they like to hide out in the rocks here at the bottom, and they look just like a rock. Is that a conch? I think that might be a conch shell. No, never mind. Just a shell. Ah, yeah, this might be the part where I tried to swim around the edge of the ship, and the current was way too strong, and I was like, nope, let's go back. Ooh, look at those fans. So ornate, so detailed. I've heard they were saying you can see turtles around here. There's a real big fish over there. I think that was just like a jack or something, though. Can't really get a good read on it from here. But yeah, I was thinking we'd go out there and maybe see a turtle, but here I am kicking into the current and not making any headway at all. I was just like, yeah, maybe we don't go on that side. See, look at this. If I look straight down, we're not moving at all. In fact, I'm getting blown backwards. So we're like, yeah, maybe let's just go back this way. Best not to fight it. Did I literally just say too strong? The current is too strong. That's the current is too strong. That way. That wasn't in the dive school. They didn't teach us that. That's what I'm talking about. We just make stuff up. Yeah, right? You can hear that pretty well. I don't know if she can, though. Then again, I don't even know if she can hear me when we're on land. Oh, this is actually kind of a neat shot, because here you can tell... you can see the bottom of the clip that I use to tether my camera to me, whereas at most angles, when it's not like a super harsh angle like this, the video stitching makes it where you can't see it. But here you can actually see the coil of the bungee cord that's going all the way from the end of the 360 camera to the buckle on my vest right here. I was so paranoid that I was going to lose this freaking expensive camera. Look at those bubbles coming out of my mask. I wonder if that was happening the whole time. There's a leak in my mask. That would explain so much. Did I have some hair stuck in it or something? Yeah, it is on my hair, I bet. It's not leaking anymore, though. Maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I might have missed some cool stuff here. Let's come back a little bit. So much better with the tea. Ooh. Those corals are big. It's crazy how exaggerated they look when I back out like this. My bad, I wasn't even zoomed in. That thing is huge. That, I think, is a sponge. I don't think there was anything living in it that I could see. I wonder if we can figure out what that thing is. Yeah, there's a lot of sponges that are like kind of barrel shaped like that. Like these. So I think that's what we're looking at. Is a sponge. I could be wrong though. I'm not I'm not well versed in corals and sponges and soft corals, all that stuff. Not at all. Unless it's big and got big teeth. I'm not well versed in it. Okay, that was pretty recognizable. That one little fish. I think that was a type of wrasse. It had like a light band around the gill. I just saw a couple of fish over here on the other side of this board here. Before I turned around, they looked like they were like mating or something. I don't think we... Oh! Almost missed it. Check out that little guy right here. You see those faint stripes? I'll give you a hint. There's a claw right there. There's the body. There's another claw right there. That is a banded coral shrimp. That guy. Which is mostly transparent. But red and white striped like a peppermint. Really cool. Totally forgot we saw that. I bet if I take a screenshot of that guy, I could mess with the lighting to make him more visible. Yeah, it's really faint. Coral shrimp. Okay. I was really hoping. Oh yeah, you could see it kind of like reached out as I backed out of there. I was hoping that in one of these hidey holes there would be an octopus, because they really like to hide in cracks and crevices like that. There, right down there, this pair of fish is doing something. Earlier, they were kind of like doing a little dance, as if they were mating or something. When I was approaching them from the other side of the ship. Ooh, I didn't even notice this school here. They blend in with the bottom so well. There's some more barnacles right there, that white spot. It's amazing how all this stuff is building upon the concrete hull here. Just wild. And then you can see there's barnacles that are like feeding off all these different spots here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 spots where I see those barnacles reaching out to feed off of this coral, that big lump there. Too cool. What the heck is that thing out there? A weird looking rock. What's in here? Another squirrel fish and some other smaller fish. That thing is what I was looking at. That's a weird looking rock. If it got up and moved right now, I would lose my mind. I guess I didn't film it, but I did swim over here into, like, the wreckage on the back of the ship. Maybe I do that right now. We'll see. The current was really strong, and I got the heck out of there really quick. Kind of like on the other side. Oh man, look at that shot. How the light just kind of like, it brightens up as soon as the camera gets into the shadows there. Wow. That was rad. That one's going on the gram right there. That was cool. Where are you? Oh, it's a fan coral. I thought it was a fish. All the little crustaceans things are getting really loud now. You can hear all that crackling. Totally sounds like pop rocks. Sign of a thriving ecosystem here. Makes me happy. I wouldn't recommend, if I am about to do it, I think I'm about to do, I wouldn't recommend doing this. I swam over these rocks to get to the back part here, and there's a lot of stuff down here that could be sharp. I have no idea. In this shallow of water, you should definitely not do that, but I took the easiest route where there's clearly like a gap. Ooh, and went right over that thing, but it's not as close to me as it looks. I wasn't about to go into like what looks like a bunch of twisted metal though. Somebody over there. And see, this is just the current taking me back. So we were kicking super hard into the current to go back that way, and I just turn around and it just washes me out of there like a fast-moving river. So wild how fast that current was. Let's see how quick that change was. So we kick to get back there. What is that? Is that a person? Or an animal? I did not notice that before. What the heck are you? Huh. I genuinely don't know what that thing is. What the hell? Dude, if that's a turtle and I missed it, I'm gonna be so mad. I don't know what that is. I mean, it could be. For it to be at the surface like that, it makes me think it was a turtle, like, taking a breath. It moved, kind of drifted, but it's too far away to tell. It does kind of have that, like, tapered off look, like bulkier at the top, like a green sea turtle. Like over the shoulder area and then tapers off towards the back. That could have been a freaking turtle and I didn't even see it. Yeah, I think I just saw like a fin. Okay, flashes of light and then a little splash. Yeah, I think that might have been a turtle. What the heck, man? What was I looking at? I was just looking at all this debris. I completely missed it. You idiot. Go back. Oh, well. Can't win them all. Still crazy to see how fast that current washed me back out. Yeah, squirrel indeed. Honestly, though, I was just, like, kicking like a mother to stay in that current, and then I was like, okay, I should probably go back. And then you saw, it took me, like, 30 seconds. Squirrel. Somebody's that. I'll tell you what that is in a second. But it took me, like, 30 seconds to a minute to kick over there. I was back in, like, 5 seconds when I turned around and had the current to my back. Real fast. So that sound you just heard is somebody all the way, we're on the like far end of the back of the ship. That's somebody back on our dive boat banging onto the ladder with something metal to let us all know it's time to get back on the boat. Let's watch our reaction. Like, what the hell? They told us they do that when there's a shark and you should check and make sure it's not right behind you. So everybody's looking over their shoulder. But this time it was just letting everybody know, come back to the ship or come back to the boat. That's what I'm telling you, man. Like, sound travels so much faster in water than it does in air. I don't think I filmed it, but right here, Paul noticed his tank was slipping out, so I had to help him get it back up there. That's the end of that one. That's cool. We got to identify some things. see what was what. I'm sure there's plenty of fish we saw in here that we did not identify, but I could probably spend another hour or so doing that. But yeah, sound travels really well underwater. I was saying, you know what? Speaking of identifying fish, I want to know what that one is. But I was saying there's a little experiment you can do that I did in the pool one day at my old apartment when Mita and I were just dating. And that was, I would go underwater. We'd both go under in the pool. She's probably like 10 feet away from me, right? And just pop your knuckles. Or even like, just take 2 pieces of metal and bang them together. You know, something that makes a clanking sound at the surface. You know, like 2 wrenches or something. And then go under the water and do it again. And it's so much louder. Even just like that popping my knuckle sounded like hitting a baseball with a bat underwater. It's so much louder. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's a lot louder than the sound you just heard. You know? And crush a water bottle? Yeah, absolutely. Do not do that in the ocean. I don't know if you remember that, but we watched a video of a diver twisting a water bottle, and that sound emulates the sounds of the broken bones in an injured fish. And sharks get really excited by that. They will come and eat your lunch if you're doing that. They will try to snatch that water bottle out of your hands, which could end very poorly for you. Yeah, we watched a YouTube video of that here on the stream a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, where that guy was like at depth and a silky shark or a dusky shark, I forget which kind, just like rammed right into his shoulder and scared the hell out of him. Just want to make sure I'm not spreading bad dive advice here, that's all. Well, Shark Geek said, play with a water bottle. Do not play with a water bottle, it's a trap. One of these days, I do want to do that, but I want to do it in a way that, like, one person's sitting at the shore, you know, with the water bottle right there, twisting it so they can just take a step backwards and get out of the water, and I'll be overhead, or do it like, have the water bottle like on a stick, you know, like fastened to a broomstick or something so that we can just move it in the water and it crinkles, and then I'll have my drone flying over to capture the reactions of the sharks from above. I think that would be really, really cool. While this is replaying, let me see if I can figure out what that darker fish was. That thing was very pretty. I already see like 3 more in this video that I don't know what they are, but that one in particular was kind of striking to me. Oh, God. Amita, I hope I get over this as fast as you did. Day 1 and I already feel kind of crappy. Okay, so a dark fish with a light band around the tapered off part of the tail. Oh, that's so cool. That's the camera case we saw before. That's like an iPhone case. Heck yeah. Ooh, and a fancy dive computer. Look at that. That little wristwatch. Oh, they have trumpet fish there? I didn't know that. I'll show you what those look like in a little bit. I've actually filmed one of those on our honeymoon. Okay, there's a similar fish with a white stripe around the tail. I'm not seeing anything in the field guide that has that particular marking. Nothing at all. You know what? I might change my pizza squirrel emote to a squirrel fish with a real big eye. Because then only people who've seen it in this channel will get it. They'll know that I mean squirrel when they see a big red fish. Maybe that's too niche, too obscure, I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I don't think this guide's gonna tell me what that fish is. I'm sorry, what? There's a... Okay, hold on. Guys, I have to stop. We have to stop this to look at something. This is I'm looking at a guide to common fish of the Bahamas, okay? This guide. Do you see it? You like it? Do you see what I see? Y'all, there is a fish called a slippery dick. That's it. Whoa, it's got like big teeth for such a tiny little fish. So that's a slippery dick. That slippery dick looks real small in that big hand. Just talking about fish here, people. It's totally family friendly. That is its scientific name. Look at that one. That's the biggest slippery dick I've ever seen. She looks so happy. What did you learn on his stream today? Well... Yeah, no, please, make all the jokes. I don't care. I saw a great one the other day. Mita, what was that one I showed you yesterday where, oh yeah, this team of British comedians is sitting around and they say, what are things you could say about parking that you could also say in the bedroom? And there was a bunch of, like, innuendos with that. Who knew that there is a slippery dick out there that could fit in the palm of your hand? Who names these? Like, what? You have to imagine there was some fisherman named Richard who, like, got to name it, and that was his nickname, was Slippery Dick. Is my YouTube stream even still going, or have I been banned yet? Nope, still going. Sweet. I was today years old when I learned that this fish existed. Whoa. Oh, okay, that one. So there's actually something interesting you could learn from this. This fish is suffering from barotrauma. Which means, just like when a human ascends too quickly on a scuba dive, this fish was pulled up to the surface too quickly. Barotrauma means it was ascending too fast, and some gas bubbles that were in its swim bladder, which is probably what that bulbous thing there is. Yeah, decompression sickness. DCS. This fish is suffering from DCS, or barotrauma, meaning like it actually had a traumatic problem where what I am guessing is its swim bladder popped out of its gills. So somebody was yanking on the slippery dick a little too hard and pulled it up to the surface too fast. Last one, I swear. Poor fish. That fish probably didn't make it. This one did the same thing. Is that like a common thing that this species does, or did... See, that's the same problem. Huh. Wow, somebody made this sticker about them. I'm a little jealous I didn't think about that. I don't see any other ones. So there were two photos of these fish with some kind of barotrauma, or some kind of like gas bubble bulging out of the side of their gills. This is not one of those. This is actually a parrotfish. They're really, really pretty. They bite onto the coral and pull algae off of it. Well, I was hoping to maybe make sure that was in fact barotrauma and not like some kind of natural thing this fish does, like a defense mechanism or something, because it did the same thing in both instances. I thought we were about to learn something about this fish. But I guess not. What if I look up... Okay, it was attached to this one, so maybe the other related photos for this one. Wow. That's the memes. The memes. He's got a little top hat. I might have to make this fish an emote. No, we'll know. We'll know. And nobody else will. It'll just be like Shark G SD. Or Richard. Yeah, I might have to do that. I'm saving this image. do it. What's a thing? The barotrauma they have? Alright, hold up. Okay, so it is a type of wrasse. That's interesting. Well, do tell. Share with the class. I want to know. They are protogynous hermaphrodites, which is actually pretty common in fish. It means they can change sexes if they need to reproduce. Barotrauma in slippery dick fish occurs when they are brought to the surface too quickly, causing their swim bladders to expand and potentially leading to internal injuries. The condition can result in symptoms like bulging eyes, bloating, and difficulty swimming. Yeah, that can affect a lot of fish. It's just more common in ones that are found deeper, so it kind of leads me to believe that this is a fish that lives in deeper waters. How deep? Am I really about to type, how deep does the slippery dick go? I'm done. I'm done. Also known as Haliquaries, Haliquaries bivitatus are usually found in shallow tropical waters between 1 to 15 meters. Huh. So no, not a typically deep dwelling fish. Colorfully striped, usually 2 with 1 running from the tail, though its eye and the other is located a little lower, running through its gills. Oh, through its eyes, as a typo. Juveniles may only have
A what?
A what? A slippery dick. One stripe is usually black. Habitat around coral reefs in the epipelagic zone between 1 meter and 15 meters of depth. Let's talk about that for a second. What is the epipelagic zone? The epipelagic zone is the top layer of the ocean where sunlight penetrates and supports the growth of phytoplankton and algae. It is also known as the sunlight zone or the euphotic zone because that's where you have algae and phytoplankton. So in this chart right here, which is super blurry, so I'm not going to open this one right here. Literally just the top layer there. Where you find the most life because there's the most sun penetration. Down here you have the abyssopelagic, which they call it abyssal because there's no light. Oh, this is kind of cool. They actually show like a chart of different kinds of animals you find in different ranges. There was a website that somebody built. Oh, I wish I could find that. Where? There was a website somebody built where you would just scroll and scroll and scroll, and they would show you different landmarks at those depths, like different animals, and they're like, oh, this is the depth the Titanic is at, and you keep going, and there's like, this is where Challenger Deep went. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can find that. Richard is gonna be an emote. It removed the background pretty well. Oh man, we even preserved the little monocle. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Good job. I was totally about to like jump all the way down that rabbit hole looking for that. But yes, it was on the Neil.fun site. Where is that? We have to at least go through that once on this stream. Space elevator, blah, blah, blah. The deep sea. "12 meters deep. Obviously, there's a lot more things than these that live there, but they just give you a few examples. And as you get deeper and deeper, I guess we're probably also getting to like their maximum range. Spiny dogfish at 64 meters. 88 meters for beluga whales. 106 for killer whales. Pelagic stingrays, bull sharks. And you see we're barely... Oh, you can't see it. It's clipped off. But if you look at the like scroll bar up here, we're barely even scratching the surface. Ooh, wolf eels. Those are some gnarly looking things. This is a wolf eel. Well, when you take them out of the water, they look gnarly. But yeah. Look at that thing. That's an even better picture. Look at this thing. Oh, ho, ho. I'm a wolf eel. That dude needs the braces. I would not want to get bit by one of these. They have some serious... They look like they have some really strong jaws. And big, big teeth. Look at this thing. Ugh. They look scary when they look mad. Or when they get pissed. Look at that. No thanks. Hey, Neil, what's up? So cool, but a little scary at the same time. You know, I wish I knew. That's what I love about scuba diving, though, is it gives me a false sense of security, so I totally feel safe. Neil, if we were just noodling around looking at different stuff here, we learned about a fascinating fish that I've never heard of before called a slippery dick. Exhibit A, which has now spawned what is gonna be a new emote. Richard. So prepare for that in the near future. Yeah, I don't even remember how we got on this rabbit hole. I think I was looking at pictures of fish and I saw that one. We did do a dive through Yonder Shipwreck earlier. I'm a little nervous about being in the ocean because I know there's bigger things than us in it. You know, it's not the things I understand that are in the ocean, like the various different kinds of sharks, are not what make me nervous. It's the things that make me nervous in the ocean are the things that could kill you on accident. You know, like a sperm whale, for example. Their clicks are so loud, they could literally vibrate your brain into a liquid if they wanted to. They could, like, vibrate you to death with the clicks they make. Like, scramble your organs. So, for an animal to be so big and so powerful that it could just be like, I just want to pet the rabbit, George, and accidentally squash you, that makes me nervous. I don't think there's any of these creatures out there that are just out there to get us. Although Humboldt squids There's our little shrimp friend again, hiding in that hole. You can barely see him. There, he just kind of moved his pincers as I pulled the camera out. Size doesn't matter. But yeah, that's the fact that something could just pull a Lenny like that and smash you and not mean to is crazy. Crazy to me. Same thing with great whites. You know, they made me kind of nervous because, like, if it came up to test bite you and see what you feel like, it's gonna take a limb off, you know, because it's got those big old teeth. The Fluffy Bakery, welcome in. How you doing? We were just exploring the wreck of the Sapona, a World War I era concrete-hulled boat in the Bahamas. You would have to really irritate a sperm whale for it to intense sonic blast. Yeah, exactly. Like, as far as I know, that's never happened. I've never heard of any instance of that happening, and if it had, I feel like I would have. I'm the guy. I'm the target market for that kind of information. Now I want dessert. Well, now I want dessert. What made you want dessert? What did I say? Oh, the bakery name. I'm with you. But yeah, at the same time, just knowing that they can, you know, like, just knowing that a sperm whale could, like, sneeze and kill you. Oops, you know, like that's a little nerve-wracking. Would I get in the water with it? Yeah, immediately. Like, if we saw them, you bet I'm jumping off that boat. But it's still gonna make me nervous. You have donuts. Did you bring enough to share with the class? Give it to me. What kind of donuts? I've been with sperm whales several times and it was awesome. You have? Do tell. That's amazing. Have you ever seen one sleeping where they do that vertical thing? Where they're just kind of hanging there in the water? Neil, if you get more and more interesting by the day. I feel like every time you say something in chat, I go, really? Yeah, also we discovered a new fish called the slippery dick. I love this shot so much with all those fish scattering when I put the camera inside there. That, whatever that thing is, the little shelf. So cool. Never seen one sleep, but the ship I was on babysat a calf while Mom did a deep dive once. Wow. That is so rad. I saw that on a documentary once, actually, where, like, there was a mom and a baby, and the mom went down. I can't remember if it was a sperm whale in the doc that I saw, or if it was a humpback. But that was the thing, where, like, one went down and came back. That'd be amazing to see that. Fried glazed croissant and a pecan Danish with a caramel. Oh my god, I'm so hungry now. Mita, what do we have to snack on? I'm about to raid out somebody so we can go get some snacks. Oh, what? Yeah, for real. Have the anniversary collection of Shark Week and a bonus CD of Mythbusters Jaws. Dude, I remember the Mythbusters Jaws where they took the model of Bruce the Shark and like put a moving jaw and like buttons on the eyes so you could try to get the so Jamie could try to push the button to let him loose. Then they did that other thing where they tried shooting the air tank to make it blow up. Raiden go to QT for ice cream? I'm not gonna lie, babe, I thought about it. I really, you're reading my mind. All this talk about donuts. Now ice cream. Ugh. What do you mean QT is kind of... Oh, QT. Yeah, you mean Wawa. Right. I don't even know where the closest QT is to here. It's probably not even in this state. Do we have a quick trip here? I don't think we do. Maybe I could extract... If I could extract the sound of the scuba bubbles, put it in my studio, and, like, put it in the DAW and loop it, I would love sleeping to that at night. If we could... Imagine, babe, if we could play that loop over and over again, instead of listening to, like... So we use a Google Home speaker to play, like, crackling fireplace sounds it's been lately, campfire sounds, or like rain, thunderstorms, stuff like that. If we could get it to play a non-stop loop of scuba bubbles, I would dream about diving every night. You combine that with the CPAP forcing air into my face, I would dream about diving literally every single night. That sounds great. As long as I'm in a good mood when I go to sleep, otherwise it's gonna be bad dreams. It's gonna be dreams of running out of air and stuff. And getting snagged on things. Could put that out on Spotify? Yeah, I guess I could. Sleep bubbles. That'll be, I'll have to start another artist. You could, once you get a Spotify account through, whatchamacallit, DistroKid, you can have multiple artists. The type of account we got allows that, so I could make like a sleep sound, like a meditation sounds tape. One could be like shrimp, and the crackling, the snap crackle pop of the shrimp. And the other one could be scuba bubbles. That'd be awesome. You work in a grocery bakery? That must take a lot of restraint. I would be very large if I worked in a bakery. I do not have enough restraint for that. I put my hand on your tank there. Did you see that, Mita? I had my hand on your tank there like, don't knock me out. Because I could totally just see that coming up and clocking me right in the chin. It's ocean related. Put it on Byte Force, no new artist. This will bring relaxing people to metal. I guess you could say it's like the B side, right? We got thrash on one side and bonus relaxing scuba bubble noises on the other. That would be kind of funny. The Bavarian I cannot stand, maybe if it was chocolate. Huh. That'd be some chill background office sound. Yeah. Well, I mean, here, if we turn off the music, it'll just sound like this. Oh man, I'm falling asleep already. Whew. Chex Mix? Yeah. I don't eat a lot of sweets. More of the salty, savory kind of person. I go through phases. Most of my phases are sweet. But you know, sometimes the mood strikes. Right now it's striking for some cookies and cream ice cream. I really do think that fish we saw over here is a jack of some kind. I'm like eyeing all this rubble too, trying to figure out what any of that is. Oh, conch shell right there, little bitty one. See it now? Conch shell, almost missed it. See, you keep looking back and you find something new every time. Here's another one right there. Explore the Edmund Fitzgerald with diving gear. Did someone say they wanted to do that? That would be nuts. You couldn't do that. Unless you had like a crazy diving bell and you'd be saturated in like a minute. You know who I can't remember the last time we raided? Let's do this. Oh, so to answer your question first, Scooter, we are going to get ready to raid out here in a little bit, but this is actually an Insta360 X3. My whole thought process here was to be able to look around and see stuff I didn't see the first time around, and like take you guys on an immersive 360-degree diving experience. And then now that we've kind of gone through all of these different dives on the stream, we did a hammerhead dive with no cage, we did Caribbean reef sharks also with no cage and not weighted down to the bottom either, like on the hammerhead dive. We did the cage dive with bull sharks. The next thing I want to try and do is maybe come up with some way for people to use channel points, like as one of those challenge thing where you dump channel points into something, maybe to like bring these dive videos back, because we can't just go and get these like every month. But yeah, I'm thinking to have some kind of a process where people can vote on like, hey, let's do one of these again. Let's go see that hammerhead dive again or something. And I'm going to take these and like this one, for example, I'm going to try putting it on YouTube and get it to where you can watch it in a VR headset. So you won't have to look at my ugly mug the whole time. You just watch it and look around and it'll move as you look around. I think that'd be really rad. Yeah, being able to free pan is huge deal. Huge deal. Scooter, I can't remember, did you see last week with the Caribbean reef sharks? Because this was a cool dive and all with the ship. That location was out of this world. This is actually inside the ship here. Oh, this is not the right video. This was the first one. It was really cool watching us go into the hole in the side of the ship. Excuse me. Yeah, well, we've got like 15 minutes. I could pull up a little bit of it, but yeah, by all means. Don't let me stop you if you want to watch the VOD. There's somebody in front of us swimming into the ship. So this is the SS Sapona, which was a World War I era freight ship, and it was then sold and used as a rum running vessel. Literally, it was used as like cargo for a guy who was selling rum out of the Bahamas illegally during the Prohibition era. It ran aground at this location, and it's been there ever since. What's wild about it, though, is its hull is made of concrete. I did not know that there were ever concrete-hulled boats until we saw this one. And this... Yeah, why is the rum gone? Because the Sapona ran aground. But... what's really cool about this to me is that, like... There's only a couple of shipwrecks in the world that you can see really easily. You know... without having to get, like, special dive certifications to go really, really deep. And we're advanced scuba divers, so we can... I mean, what's our normal range? I think, like, 160 feet, something like that. So, we could get to some of them. There's a little squirrelfish. Squirrel. But just the fact that this one's, like, sticking out of the surface, you know, that, like, you could snorkel through this shipwreck, that makes it literally the most accessible shipwreck in the world. with pretty stuff to look at inside, and lots of life and coral clinging to everything. I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it? Really cool view. Wish I was closer to Parker in the lineup during our shark dives. Yeah, that was a bummer. We got to hang out on the Caribbean Reef Shark one, though. We can pull that up real quick. I think that, in my opinion, was like the most visually stunning dive, just because like, not only is there lots of sharks going all around us, but like the sight was cool too. Oof, this, I gotta... Oh, right, I didn't finish re-rendering this one, did I? Hold up a sec. No, I think I did. Right, I put it on the desktop. Okay, it's in this 360 dive videos folder. Caribbean Reef Sharks 360. This one. There we go, a little bit better frame rate. So everybody's just kind of sprawled out between... I don't know if you can see the dark shadow right in the middle here, way back there, but there's another dive boat. Fish are friends, not food, that's right. Especially not these fish. We actually just did a deep dive, pun intended, into the ecology of sharks and their place in the ecosystem yesterday. But yeah, this one was particularly cool because they didn't have to feed them. You just see there's a bait box right in the middle. And, you know, at least we did get to hang out on this dive. I thought that was cool. We didn't have to be anchored down. But, so they just have bait in that box there, and they're attracted to the scent, and there's two boats. The other one's off that way somewhere. And I don't know why I'm pointing, like you can see where I'm pointing to. But the sharks would just kind of go in like a figure eight or an oval between the two boats. Yeah, I know, right? Look, let's see if I do the tiny planet view. Oh my god. So cool. I wonder what this looks like. When there was one point, I can't remember where it is on this slider, but one of these sharks kind of came up like it was gonna bump and maybe bite my camera, and I was like, not today, and moved it real fast. I wonder what it would look like in this view. Thanks, Fluffy. I'm glad you like it. I look so small. This is how, like, disorienting this camera can be, though. I'm 6'3". I'm not a small dude. And I look teeny tiny in most of these views. Looks like you're in a tube. Yeah. Scooter with a gifted sub to Fluffy Bakery. Thank you so much. Enjoy the goofy emotes, Fluffy, and you're about to get another one that's even more cursed than the ones we have. 5'11" and 5'1" and a quarter. That last 1/4 is important. Don't forget about that last quarter. Oh, man. Okay, let's see where they approach right there. I'll just leave it in this view. Anyway, I heard that Hammerhead are schooling by the Caymans again. That would be an interesting dive if it becomes more a regular thing. Ooh. Actually, we wanted to go to Grand Cayman to dive. And we canceled it because this trip happened. I was able to connect with Paul DeGelder from Shark Week, who's in here somewhere. Look for the guy with the steel leg, or aluminum, whatever. Oh, there's where the shark came at the camera. And anyway, I was at an airport in line to get food or something. And I looked at my wife and it was like, hey, Paul's taking a group to Bahamas. We got to cancel Bimini, or not Bimini, cancel Cayman and like drop everything and do this. Apparently he got like 11,000 emails, he said, about people interested in going on this trip, and we got the last 2 spots. So I'm not even mad about missing the Caymans this time. We can do that again later. But yeah, this trip was dive trip of a lifetime right here. That would be really crazy if the hammerheads are migrating down there. I wonder if it's scalloped or great hammerheads that are going down that way. I haven't heard anything about that. I should look that up before next Tuesday. Hello, hope you don't mind me asking, but who do you vote as the better duo, Batman and Robin or SpongeBob and Patrick? I don't have a dog in that fight. I really don't. You can see the guys spotted a lionfish right here. Do you know that in a certain season, hammerhead shark come in and eat something in the water in Alaska? What? Hold up. No, I did not. I would have thought it gets too cold. Hammerhead sharks are not commonly found in Alaska, but they are occasionally caught as bycatch in the Gulf of Alaska. Huh. Wow, yeah, okay, apparently there are sometimes rare occurrences. They must be chasing some kind of a prey item up there. Certain plant, I think, don't remember. Took a cruise there. So, these are actually Caribbean reef sharks, not blacktips. They're much, much bigger. The 360 camera doesn't really do them justice. Blacktip reefs are a lot smaller. Yeah, these are Caribbean reef sharks. These guys get up to like 8-9 feet long. I don't think any of these were that big, but hey, there's a big old southern stingray. If I'm not mistaken, finds a piece of food or something and chomps down. You see the tip of his nose go boom, into the sand. Right there, yeah. He just chomped down in the sand at the last second. Yeah, caimans can wait, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. You can say you're 162.6 centimeters. I will from now on, because that sounds way more bougie. Scallop? Oh, it's like scallop could be what they were chasing up there? Yeah, maybe. Although I think scallops are more of a stingray thing in terms of prey. I don't think hammerheads are going after crustaceans like they can. They could find them, but I don't know if they have the hardware to like break the shell. Google's my friend, but need not to believe everything I hear on it. Yeah. Fact checking is a very useful skill to have. Oh, there we go. You try to get that one last pop out of your back, you know. All right, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us on another Water Wednesday. I am going to wrap it up here, and we're going to raid out to our friend, Ashley, Florida. Because I can't remember the last time we did raid over there, or if we even have it all. I think we have. We must have. But I got places to go and ice cream to eat. We will be back tomorrow for the first, like, purposeful music stream of the year. The first time I'm actually going to sit down and just noodle around. I could take requests if you guys want to warm up. Or really, I just like go through my usual warm-up stuff and then see if I get inspired and maybe try writing some of the riffs for my next song, which is going to be about hammerheads. Calling it Bring the Hammer Down. Yeah, nice to meet you too, Fluffy Bakery. Thanks for coming by. Tell us all about the goodies you make next time. So there's a raid message if you're not subbed, and here's a raid message if you are, which I'm pretty sure, thanks to our buddy Scooda, everybody here is. So grab it, and let's go say hello to the wonderful Miss Ashley, Florida. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Thrashing Thursday.
On a randomizer, so I don't know what we're gonna get.
It's tedious.
Got Sonic, sorry.
Sharky!
Hold on. Turn off the randomizer so I can show y'all Sonic.
We did
There's
it.
the Hoosier.
Sharky! What's up? Good to see you guys. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in, everybody. What's that follow cube
What?
too? What's up, y'all?
I turned you off.
Sharky, how was the stream tonight? What were you guys up to? Welcome, welcome. What up, Mida, Neil? Look at y'all. Wheels.
I turned off.
Hello, baby. How are you guys? Guys, welcome. I never met you before. I'm Ashley, Florida. It's great to have you guys. Just so you guys know, we're not a family-friendly stream here by any means, but we are a family and we are friendly. You guys are welcome here anytime. Happy to have you. Sharky, what did you guys do today? I like your railer. Thank you.
That's
Thank
an
you. I love
ant
my little raid girl. You want to see her
and an
again?
aspergillus fungus. And it's one of the party people's new favorite characters. So yeah, there we go. We do have Mario there. Speaking of Mario, folks, we have another legend in the stream right now. He's one of my latest favorite streamers. I adore this gentleman. His name is Waffle Smacker. You probably know him from the Kaizo Mario
era
Maker
ship called the
community.
SS.
Also the ROM hacks that he does.
Dude, that
So
sounds
there's
like
a
the
lot of overlap.
smartest, like
Mario
most
character.
educational
This
thing I
man is
heard all day.
brilliant. He
I really-
does
you know,
coding
I
as well
swear.
that talks to emulators as he's playing. So
Sharky,
he's
I
got
didn't know you
a display
streamed, and
up
now
on
I'm
the
happy that I
front
do know that you
game
stream.
That actually tells you like what zone he's
That was
in,
super nice of
how
you to
many
raid. Thank
lives
you,
he's lost.
Juniper. I
It's
see you with
just-
those bugs.
It's
I know where you think those bugs
cool, and
go.
He is really, 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 really nice.
I know where you think they go.
Yeah, love
That sounds like
hanging
an
out
awesome
there.
time, Sharky.
He even has a button on my Steam
Probably the
Deck.
best time
That's
ever,
how
baby.
much I adore this
Dude, thank you again so
it's
much.
very hard
SS
to figure,
Pona.
especially if you've been on Twitch
It's
for
the
a while.
SSN,
to find
baby.
your favorite streamers, because it's like,
It's the
well, I already have my
SSN.
list of
Dude,
people
Sharky's
that I
awesome.
love and
Sharky is
adore.
always
I
so
don't
cool to me.
necessarily wanna
Guys, whenever
update
I don't know
that
somebody's
list very
streams, you know what I think to myself?
Professor Smacker got me hooked.
When somebody,
Now
when
I'm,
someone
like,
I know,
addicted.
I never
Well,
knew
you
that
know
they
dang
streamed.
well you have a
You know what I
button on
usually
your
think
Steam
about them?
It's in our friendship contract.
You know what they